Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the church from the cartoon The Simpsons in Minecraft, step by step, block by block, for all of your city building needs. This is a cartoon build, so I have tried to strike a balance between accuracy, having the build actually look good, also having the interior fit inside of the build, whilst also trying to be accurate and look good and work at the same time. I hope that I've done a good job. Please let me know down in the comment section, how did I do? I tried my best. Fun fact, I am hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. If you spot me, leave a comment down below. The first person to get it right will have their comment pinned. This is the amount of space required to make the build. I would highly recommend copying this grid into your world, and if you do, to find the starting position, begin at the front left hand corner of your grid, count to the right, find the 10th block, then count inwards towards the center and find the 7th block. That is where we start. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 4 birch planks extending up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then up by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to repeat this next sequence of blocks 8 times in total. We will extend right and then up. So that is 1 time. Right, up, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. We will then extend down from this position by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will then extend right 1, down, right 2, down, right 2, down, right 2, down, right, down 2, 1, 2. Then we will extend all the way across to the left, just like this. Then, whilst we're here, we are going to leave a gap of 2 from this position, so 1, 2, and then we will place 2 birch planks extending left. 1, 2. Gap of 2, 1, 2, 2 birch planks, 1, 2. Gap of 2, 2 planks, gap of 2, and then just a single plank. We will then extend these planks all the way up to the top of our frame, just like this. Each one of these empty spaces represents a window. All the way over here on the right, we want to replace this plank with an upside down birch stair, and then place one to the left of it, joining together like this to make this really nice arch shape. To the left of this, we want the same design, but the window wants to be 1 row taller, so we will place the stairs here. And then to the left of that, we want the same design, but the window will be 1 row taller. And then lastly, you guys are never going to guess, we want the exact same design, but 1 row taller. And we can then fill all of these empty spaces in using birch planks, and now we have a really nice set of windows. So whilst we are messing about with this area, I would also recommend extending these 3 blocks backwards by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we can just extend each one of these back. We then want to extend these blocks across the back of the build, and we want to join them to the front. So let's just extend each one of these 3 blocks across. We can then extend them towards the front of the build. On this side, we have 3 more blocks to extend backwards, so we will extend this entire wall back to the same length. We also want to copy the shape that we have on the front of the build onto the back of the build. So we are just going to trace along the outer shape of this part of the church like this, and I'm just going to join together at the top like so, just so that I don't get out of bounds and just to make sure that everything matches up. We want the exact same roof shape on the back as we have the front, although the back part of this is really simple as there are no details, so we can just fill the entire back portion of this part of the church in using birch planks like this. The only part on this right side that we need to fill in is this flat part here towards the top, and then the roof parts, the roof materials, will fill in these two exposed sections just here on the right and the left. So for now we are left with this, and this is looking really good. So next we are going to extend this birch plank all the way down to the ground, like so. Then we will build across to the left and place 7 birch planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remove 2 blocks in the ground, place red terracotta in there instead, with spruce doors on top. We will then place a row of birch planks extending all the way over to the left. Stick one here in this corner, and then 2 glass extending right, birch plank, 2 glass. Then we can fill the entire rest of this section in using birch planks, just like this. This is how we are going to leave the front of the build for now. Next, we are going to move to the right side of the build, and we will extend this birch plank backwards by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we will extend to the right by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up by 3, 1, 2, 3. We will then just extend left, join down to this corner, up, fill this gap in using birch planks. We will then add 2 rows of birch planks here on the left, 1, 2 extending inwards, and 1 here on the right. We are then able just to place glass in the empty space in the middle. We will then extend this wall backwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will build it up as high as the rest of this part of the build, just like so. We will then extend inwards by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we will build this wall up as high as the previous, just like so. We can even extend a row of birch planks just underneath here, like this. We then want to start extending backwards, so this block here, the 6th block that we placed a little bit earlier, we will extend it this way by 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We will then extend up by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we will extend all the way over to the left, just like so. So this wall, we actually have to split up into windows. We'll start all the way over here and place a birch plank. Leave a gap of 3. 1, 2, 3, place a birch plank. Gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, birch plank. Gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, birch plank. Now the birch planks can extend all the way up to the very top of the frame here. We also actually want to extend this row of birch plank at the top here, just 1 row forwards, like this. We then want to add a row of birch planks underneath this, and then add a birch plank to the top 2 corners of each one of the 3 windows. That will give us this. We are now going to move all the way over to here and extend this birch plank block to the right by 2. 1, 2. We will then extend backwards by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We will then extend up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are just going to extend back on ourselves a little bit. Join down to this corner. Fill this little gap in here. And then we can just make this entire wall birch planks. In some iterations of the cartoon, there are glass windows here on the sides, but more often than not, they're not there, so. We are then going to extend this block across the back of the build by 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We will then extend up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now let's start filling this wall in a little bit. So here on the right, we are going to place 1, 2 birch planks extending inwards. We will then leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place 1 birch plank, gap of 2, 1, 2, birch plank, gap of 2, 2 birch planks. So we have a set of 3 windows at the back here. So we are now just going to extend all of these birch planks up like this to equal the height of the rest of the wall. And we are going to make the 2 outer windows here. We are going to make sure that we have a row of 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th row here, we will place a set of connecting upside down birch stairs like this. However, the center window is just ever so slightly bigger, like so. And then we can just place birch planks in between. We would make the shape of the roof here, but it's actually a little bit tricky. But something that I do want to do is at the back of the build here, this is really peculiar. We have what I would call a double window section. So we have 2 sets of frames like these with glass sandwiched in the middle. And it's the only way that I could get the windows to work. So we want another row of this wall, leaving a gap in between this new wall and the original. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I would recommend just extending each window backwards at a time like this. Extend the birch planks in between them. This top row has to be extended for the sides as well. The stairs are not in the middle. The stairs are at the front and the back like this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We do have to smooth this entire wall off though, just on the sides. So we have to raise this up to be so high. I know that this is a little bit clunky, and it looks weird now, but it's the only way that I could think of to get the nice archway shape for the stained glass windows. Otherwise we would just have to go for something like this. But I really wanted these for the back of the church, as it's kind of like what you see as you walk into the actual main hall. So anyway, moving on, we are going to extend this birch plank block towards the front of the build by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then extend this way by 2. 1, 2. We will then extend this block all the way up. And we want to join all the way across to the opposite side of the build. Like so. We can extend this block up as well. Then we want to fill this wall section in here, and we want to equal the height of the rest of the back of the church, like this. Next, we can extend the top of this wall towards the front of the build by 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We can then drop all the way down to the ground and extend back on ourselves. And now we want to copy the same window shapes that we have over there over to here. So we'll place a birch plank here, leave a gap of 3, birch plank, gap of 3, birch plank, gap of 3, birch plank. We can extend all of the planks all the way up. We can then add a row of birch planks underneath this, and then a birch plank in each one of the corners of the 3 windows, like so. We also want to extend the horizontal row at the top, just 1 row forwards, like this. We also want to drop all the way down to the bottom here and extend this block forwards by 2, 1, 2. And then we can extend to the right and join to this wall. And then we can make this entire wall the same height. And just like that, we have made pretty much all of the significant part of the walls of the church, which is a sentence that, as I'm saying it, doesn't sound like it makes sense, but you guys know what I mean. Moving on, let's start working on the roofs. Sir, multiple. Okay, roof number 1, we are going to start all the way over here. We will place a row of dark oak planks all the way around the top of the outside of this portion of the church. We will then extend the dark oak planks forwards and around all the way over to the left, where we will once again orbit this portion of the church. Just like so. We can then fill the tops of these little outer buildings, I want to call them. They're not really outer buildings as they are attached to the church, and yet they feel separate from the main church. We want to fill the tops of these in with dark oak planks. Just like this. Next, we are going to place a dark oak plank in this position. And we are going to place a dark oak slab here, which we will extend forwards, left, up, left, up, left, up, left. I'm not doing a good job with this, but we basically keep extending it up and left until we eventually reach this position. We can then extend the slabs at the bottom here all the way back towards the back of the build. Once we overhang the back of this birch plank row, we can start extending right and up until we hit the equivalent point on the back of the build, which is right here. We can then connect the plank blocks together, just front to back, like this. And then we can connect the slab blocks together, once again, just front to back. And that will give us this. Now, this is where things start getting interesting. We are going to place a layer of waxed, oxidized, cut copper stairs along the outer part of this roof shape, and we also want to place one here too. We will have them extend 1 row forwards, like this. And we will place upside down stairs underneath these. I will not say the full name of this block again because it is far too long, but this is the effect that we're looking for. And I'm just going to extend it all the way to the back, and I will extend down. I will connect together like this, hang 1 row off of the back, just like this. We'll then place upside down stairs underneath this overhanging row like this, and then we have a very clear space to fill in, so we can then just connect these stairs front to back, just like so. And there we will have our third roof. I can't believe how many of these there are. Next, we are going to move on to roof number 4, which I would like to say is the final roof, but I would be lying. So, let's come all the way over to this back part of the build, where we will place a dark oak slab in this position. and then one here. We then want to start extending these slabs left, 1, 2, and then up 1. And left, 1, 2, up 1. Left 2, 1, 2, up 1. Now, we're going to get to roughly the middle of this part of the build, and I think that we've just about done it here. And then we're going to move over to the opposite side, which is here, and we're going to do the same. So slab here, and then we will have a slab here, and then it's once again we start extending right, 1, 2, up 1, then right, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, up, 1, 2, up, and we will eventually connect like this. We will then extend these two center blocks up an additional row like so. We will then try to place birch planks. Okay, so what we're going to do is... Actually, we're not going to do that. So we're going to find out which blocks are planks. There's not loads of them. It's a little bit different than the other kinds of roofs, but it's always easier to start by extending the planks this way. This portion of the build has just a really weird shaped roof. It's like a really shallow semicircle. I don't know how to describe it otherwise, and that's why we've had to get a little bit weird with our roof building techniques. But if we connect all of these blocks here like this, and then we start extending these slabs, and I do want to note that these slabs purposefully do not supersede this row here, so that's why we are having them lay flat like this. Again, I don't know why it's designed this way, it just is. I've tried to get as close to the reference as possible, and I've done it. And this is how it's turned out, so... I'm going to just extend the outer blocks backwards. As you may have just noticed there is like an inner slab, but I'm going to leave that. So like this one here, I'm going to leave that and we'll see what we can do about that later. So finicky. Why couldn't this roof be a little bit more conventional? If I'm wondering that, you guys are probably also wondering that. So this would go here, and then just these two flat parts, and then of course the row that just hangs off the side, so to speak. So here, and then here, just like that, which gives us this, which looks good. But I am thinking that we will have to extend this off the back of the build by a row. So I don't think there's any way around it. To fill in the gap, we are just going to have to... These blocks here, almost forgot them, and here. Then we've got to try and fill this gap in with birch planks, which may prove a little bit challenging, as we will have to knock out some of the blocks of the roof. And I am starting to wonder how I even did this in the first place now, because as we remove like every other row of this, I'm noticing that we are chunking out parts of the roof, which is no bueno. So I'm wondering whether I've done this wrong or what. But also another option is where we have these, right? These blocks. Add an extra row of dark oak slabs like this. I think that this is how I actually did it in the original. It's kind of hard to see from my plans, but in the rows where we do have these open birch planks, just add an extra row of slabs like this, and that will sort itself out rather nicely. There we go. That's actually exactly how it's meant to look. That's fantastic. So now that we've done that, we want to do a very similar thing to this portion as well, and we should just add an extra row of birch planks here too, just to cover up this little part of the wall. But we will start right here, place a row of dark oak slabs extending along the side, and then we will extend right, up, and then right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1. And then we are going to do the same thing on the opposite side, and we are going to extend across the side like this, left, up, left 2, up, left 2, up, left 2, up, and that joins like this. However, we are now just going to place the birch planks first. Yeah, this is how I figured it out. I remember now. So where the birch planks are level and flush with the dark oak slabs, we just want to add an extra slab here, like this. And that's all there is to it. So then we can connect the dark oak planks to this portion of the build. And here as well, and there we go, that's all there is to it, and we can clean everything up on the inside later when we actually get there. And I knew that the roof would be a problem area for this tutorial, and I think that we've done a pretty good job. And there we go, that's looking pretty good. We have managed to do all 5 roofs now. That's right, count them, 5 roofs. Next, let's add a pop of colour by placing all of these stained glass windows. Starting with this big one right here. I have a really lazy way of making these, and that is to place these blocks in order, very much like you're playing the game Snake, by alternating between all of the colours that you have in your inventory, like going from left to right, up, left, up, right. You guys get the idea, all the way up the build like so. The outside appearance is really nice, and we're going to be really, really lazy. We're going to repeat this pattern for every single window. Like, I do mean every single one. If you'd like to jumble these a little bit, feel free, but I'm not gonna, because there's too many of them. So I'm just going to, once again, just keep repeating this over and over again. And even though we are doing the same pattern, I promise, let's have a look. They look really good still. And I actually realized we are missing some windows here on the left side of the build. So we can actually chunk out this block here and the 3 above it, 1, 2, 3. And we can just remove extending left, just leaving a gap of 1 here, like so. And then we want to remove the... Actually, we might have to remove this row too. There we go. So we have to remove these blocks and these 2 right in the middle, and we place upside down birch stairs here, joining together at the top, and here just to the left, and here just on the right. I don't know how to describe it other than just saying the words here. And then we either connect the bottom together with a row of birch slab, which is... that's actually how it looks on the actual build, but I think that it'd look better with just an actual birch plank row. So the slab is how it looks on the actual church, but I do think that it looks better the way that we're about to do it now. So we are once again going to use the TSMC lazy technique of making stained glass windows, and I'm just going to repeat this for each set of these 3. This is a set of 3 windows, if it wasn't obvious, which I'm not certain it is, to be honest. So let's take a look. It looks really messy from here, but we won't even be able to see this part of the build on the inside, as, like, for an example, like, these dark oak planks are going to extend across the entire top of what I'll call the lobby area, and we won't even be able to see up. So from the outside, yeah, that looks pretty good. It might actually look better on this occasion if we did just mess that. So that's a lot of orange, so maybe like a yellow here and a yellow here, and maybe we'll stick like an extra pink. So like an extra pink here and an extra... Can we do another... Maybe like an extra magenta, maybe like here or so. I think that messes with this block. It doesn't matter. That's okay. So there we go. That looks a little bit better this way. It just jumbles the colours up a little bit. So from the... There we go. That's the view that we're actually meant to be looking at it from regardless. And I am wondering if we should shade this up, but we shouldn't. I'm thinking about removing this row to make it look a little bit better. I shouldn't, but I think it would look better. That just looks way better that way. Okay, I'm doing it. That is meant to come to here, but I'm leaving it as it is. Okay, now let's talk about all of the other windows. So once again, we are using the TSMC lazy method. So just kind of like snaking all of these blocks along. This is how I'm making the side windows and every single side window at that. So I'm going to do this for both sides, and then we will talk about the back set of windows when we get to them. Have I made a mistake? I don't know. That one didn't look right for some reason, you know? I think it does though. That's fine. And then over onto the side. You know, the thing is, even if I did mess up and get it wrong, it would only benefit the build. Like it wouldn't be... See, I've done it wrong there, but it wouldn't even be a big deal, because ideally these would all be different anyway. Yeah, you know what, I'm just doing... There we go. And then when it comes to these, it's the exact same thing, except we place the glass right in the middle. So it's as I talked about earlier. There we go. So instead of getting this, which is cool, this looks nice still. Like, we get the nice archway shape, which is what I really wanted. Feel as I'm starting to do these a little bit random. I am doing them random. You know what? I'm just picking whatever blocks I fancy. There we go. That'll do. That's perfect. And just whilst we are in here, we'll just clean the top of this wall up a little bit. But we do have a little bit of shaping in here anyway. So that is every single one of the windows, and that is fantastic. The church definitely looks a little bit more colourful now. Next, let's add some detail to the front of the building. To start, we can place a row of stone brick wall extending up the left corner of this part of the build. We can then place grass blocks starting from here, extending all the way over to the right, leaving a gap of 2 from the door. We will then clad the grass block with spruce trapdoors, and we will place a large fern here and here, and then we will place short grass in between. Why are these windows only 1 row tall? Have they always been 1 row tall, or am I actually losing my mind? Because they should be 2 rows high. We'll come back to it. So, just... what? I may very well be losing my mind. Well, anyway, we will leave a gap of 2 right of the door, 1, 2, and then place a row of grass block that extends to here, which we will once again clad with spruce trapdoors. We'll stick a large fern here, and then short grass everywhere else, just like so. We then want to place... So, from the edge of this box, we want to leave a gap of 1 and place 1, 2, 3 spruce fence extending up from the ground here. And the same on this opposite side. So from like the corner of this box, we want to leave a gap of 1 and place 1, 2, 3 spruce fence like this. We will then place spruce slabs across the top of the fence and then extend these slabs backwards. We can then place spruce signs around the edge of the spruce slabs, just like so, and that looks really nice. We will then place a spruce sign here in this position, And then we are going to come all the way over to here. And I know that this seems random, but right here in this position, we'll place a stone brick wall. Actually, let's move it across to the left one and then place a stone brick wall with a stone pressure plate on top. Just like this. We can even add a large fern here and some short grass just in front of that little part of the building. Nice. Okay, let's talk about the windows. So, this window here and the two magically shrinking ones over there aren't actually glass exactly. Like, in the original design of the church, there's something else. They're like some sort of like weird wood. So like the only thing that we could kind of replicate them with is like spruce shelf. That's kind of close. We do also have the options of like, and also they're placed kind of like horizontally as well. Another option is to have like a set of spruce trapdoors like this. And another option would be to either like have spruce trapdoors face this way, or maybe like oak trapdoors like this way. I thought for some reason I'd be able to hop out, but I think that I was wrong. And from the outside, so I know that I've got both of them. So from the outside, it'd look something like this. Now, if I had to choose in order, I'd probably say that the spruce shelves, probably top tier. Secondly, we have the oak trapdoors. So I'd actually probably have them set back like this, so they're not quite so apparent. And then after that, we have glass. So I'll give you guys, so like, that looks probably about as close as the actual reference. This is probably next, or maybe like the spruce trapdoors. They're both bad options, really. And then lastly, I did just choose to use glass in the end, because they are kind of like windows. So we'll kind of like leave them all like this, and we can kind of like pick our poison later, but I'm probably just going to use glass in the end. Or maybe that, because that is growing on me. So, guys, next we have a really large car park to make. So, to the right of the building here, we are going to dig and remove 1, 2, 3 rows. And we are going to extend said 3 rows all the way to the front of the grid. And we will extend these 3 rows all the way to the back of the grid. All the way, okay, to here. But we do not want to remove that back row of the grid. We are now just going to come across to the opposite side of the build. We are going to leave a gap, well rather, we will dig 3 rows to the right of this drain pipe, the stone brick wall, 1, 2, 3, and then we will dig forwards to the front of the grid, and then we will dig all the way back like this. So once again, we are digging all the way back until we reach the actual back of the grid, where we do not want to remove this row. And then we can just start digging across like this. Perfect. So we can actually remove all of the grass on this side of the build, so the right side of the church as we look at it from the front. All of the grass here can be removed, because the church is actually surrounded by pretty much just mostly car park. It's just all tarmacked area. There's not really too much else. There's a few like designated car parking spaces, but it seems as though that people just kind of like park where they want. So we've removed all of that. We can remove pretty much all of the grass from the back of the build here. Now, on this side of the build is where it gets minorly tricky. It's not tricky, but basically, we want to maintain a row of grass all the way around this little section of the build. I don't know why, but we do. There is just a little bit of grass surrounding that part of the build, and then that's there. From here, we can just fill all of this in with cyan terracotta. And as I said, most of the surrounding part of this build is just car park. So cyan terracotta is kind of like my roady material of choice, but you know, use your own. Grey concrete works as well. I was just about to list off a bunch of other materials, but whatever you use for roads personally, or car parks, maybe you've got your very own car park material, use that. You ever just placing a block and you find yourself thinking, when will this end? I was just hit by such a hard case of that right now. And the answer is there. Perfect. So now we've got a pretty sizable car park orbiting the church here. Not only have we accomplished that, but this actually helps quite a bit, as we can now remove these 4 blocks here in front of the entrance and extend them all the way forwards to here. And we can replace all but the end row here with andesite. We can then remove the edge of the grid here, leading all the way across left and right like this. We do actually have to extend the andesite all the way to the end, silly me. But then we can place smooth stone, extending left and right to connect to the entrance/exit of the car park. So, perfect. Not only that, we do also have to place... I'm not even certain what these are. I think that they're lights, to be quite honest. But we basically want to place a light here in this position. So this is an end rod with a warped pressure plate on top. And then we want the same here on the left. So end rod with a warped pressure plate on top. And I think that there are actually meant to be a few of these, but I am just placing one because oh no, it's enough, you know. We do also just have to add some rows of smooth stone slabs underneath the stained glass windows on the left and right side of the build. These are the only designated car parking spaces around the build. Designated for who, I don't know, because they're not labelled, but there you go, we've done it. Now, along the left... Actually, before I forget, all the way over here, there is some sort of air conditioning or fan or something. So we want to place a 2x2 square of light grey concrete here with rails connected together, just like so. That's pretty much all there is to it. We can then remove a row directly to the left of our cyan terracotta here and add a row of smooth stone instead. We then have to plant a bunch of trees, so focusing on these 3 grass blocks that we have here, we want to count, so from this row, 1, 2, 3. So we want an oak wood in this position. So as you can see, we just extend inwards diagonally 1, 2 from the smooth stone. Seems important to get that right, I don't know. Anyway, from this oak wood that we've placed, we want to leave a gap of 5, and then we just want to keep placing them extending back. So leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oak wood, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oak wood, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the last one. So these want to be 2 rows high in total. We then want to stick 2 rows of oak leaves on top of them. We also want to add 2 rows of oak leaves extending across the back of the build, just left to right. Welcome to ADD in real time. I don't know why I decided that we had to do that right now. That seems ridiculous, but you know, we've just about done it. There we go. That's perfect. And now we're just going to come all the way back over here. So basically, we will add leaves all the way around those 2 rows of leaves to make little square trees. Now, I know what you're thinking. Guy, they don't look like trees, really. They look a little bit weird. And I would hit you with the counterpoint that they kind of do look like trees. Very blocky trees. Very well manicured trees. But trees nonetheless. And they're really quick and easy to make, which is the main reason that we're doing it. Perfect. So then we are just going to stack 2 rows of iron bars just along the left and right side of the grid. So starting all the way over here on the left. Going to stack these 2 rows high, just like so. If you guys don't know, iron bars are amongst my favourite and least favourite blocks to place. Favourite because of the noise, it sounds so musical when you get in a rhythm of placing them. And least favourite because I find them so insanely finicky. What's your least favourite block to place, guys? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so now we are going to head all the way over to here where I'm realising we have a choice. So, do we make this row of cyan terracotta 1 row thicker, or do we remove... I reckon we just remove this row here, replace this with smooth stone, and then... Do we have 2 rows of smooth stone? No, this is what we do. So you could have an extra row of smooth stone, or I'm just going to leave this, place iron bars extending along the side, and then I reckon that I'm just going to throw some grass on top of the grass. That sounds so meta. Grass on top of the grass. I'm going to throw some short grass on top of the grass block. I knew I missed one. I wasn't willing to go back for some reason, so I'm just going to grab the... Maybe we'll mix in some large ferns as well. We can do the large ferns after, so... I'm not even concerned with placing it every other block, so there we go. So that, a couple of large ferns, and maybe one all the way up here. That's perfect. So that is the entire car park taken care of. Almost all of the entire outside of the building taken care of. There is actually just one thing left. Let's try that again. There is only one thing left to add out here, which is the sign. So all we have to do is place a stone brick wall here in this position, stack 2 black concrete on top, and extend it to the left by 1, 2, 3. Then connect it down to the ground with a stone brick wall, and then place black concrete to the left of this, and also the right. And now we have enough space that we can write out the word church in banners. Which, I'm going to be honest, it's not the most creative idea. Like in The Simpsons, of course, there is some sort of like quippy gag or something just written on the board here, but I'm not that smart. So instead, let's write out the word church using letters made with banners. Throw down the loom, open it up, place a black banner in there with white dye, apply the Pale Dexter pattern, chief pattern, and then base pattern, and that is the letter C. Next, H, which is Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Fess. Next is U, this is Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Base. Next is R, this is Pale Dexter, Chief, and then Bend. And then that's actually enough letters that we can write the word church. So C, H-U-R-C-H. Perfect. If you would like to throw down some signs and kind of like write something a little bit more creative than me, which probably wouldn't be too hard to do, then that's what I would recommend doing. And also, I am just going to test out having spruce shelves for all of the windows, and I am going to see how I like it. So, my opinion might change. I might just go back to glass because that's the classic, but it does also work. It does look quite good. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, with that final detail added, we have officially completed the outside of the church, which means it's now time to head inside and work on the interior. Step 1, we are going to divide the room up a little bit, starting all the way over here. Begin by extending this birch plank to the right by 1, and then extend all the way up to the ceiling and fill this part in, like so. We then want to come to the right side and do the same, so extend this birch plank to the left, and then all the way up, just like this. We can then connect these two sides together with a row of red terracotta, and we can actually just fill the back portion in here with red terracotta, like this. On the right side, we can just fill this in with spruce stairs. Then we want to place a quartz pillar in this position and this position with flowering azalea leaves on top of each one of the pillars. We will then place a lectern here and here. So this is in the middle of this area, just leaving a row of 1 from the edge here. And we can stick some blue banners in front of the lecterns. We also want to add stairs to this area as well, but we need mangrove stairs, which we will place here and here, and here and here. And then we can just clad the front of the red terracotta with spruce shelves. We also want to replace this birch plank here with a spruce plank and place a pale oak sign in its place. So on here, we just write the word hymns, and then if you have a specific one, then you can write the page, the reference. Feel free to write your favourite hymn on the sign if you happen to have one. We can then hop all the way up into here, and right in the middle of the space, we are going to place a spruce plank, extend left and right, add 2 rows on top, and then extend the centre up 1. We will then place a set of looms backwards against the spruce planks, and then we will place spruce trapdoors flipped up along the side here, so just a 2x2 square, and then this is significantly more difficult, isn't it? And then we want some here as well. We should be able to place this. Oh, you know what? We can just place it on it. That's actually a lot easier. And then we can place a dark oak trapdoor here and here, join it together in the middle, stick a white carpet on top. Then, I was going to say throw down loom, but we literally have 3 of them here. Crack open one of these looms, place a light grey banner in there with brown dye and apply the pally pattern. Some would say paley. And then we can just apply these to our organ. So there we go. Oh, by the way, this is a church organ, just in case it's not obvious. And honestly, I'm not certain there is obvious. Turning our attention to the rest of the church, we are now going to place a row of birch planks extending from here all the way to here. And you know what? Just whilst we're at it, we also want to have a row here to here and here to here, just like this. And then we can actually remove these 2 blocks that correspond with the main entrance. And we also want to remove these 2 as well. And these 2. So as you can see, like all of the doors are kind of like centered on the sides of the wall that we have made. We can also extend the dark oak planks that we have for the roof section here. We can just extend these and we can fill a little roof section in, just like so. That's perfect. We can then extend the birch planks up to create walls. Now, we do want to be able to place doors, but we'll just place them later because we actually have to replace all of the floor as well, of course. And we can just create all of these walls. Same applies here as well. So just leave enough space so that we can place a double door. Just like this. Perfect. And then just this final wall here. And there we go. Fantastic. So, as a matter of fact, for this outer section here, I am just going to remove all of the floor. So, not inside here yet, although we do have to do that as well. But for the kind of like what I'll call lobby area, we will remove all of the grass. And I am just going to replace it all with red terracotta. So, this is Reverend Lovejoy's office here. And this is the, what I'll call like the lobby, like as we walk into the church. It's weird because sometimes there doesn't appear to be a lobby of any kind, like the outer church doors immediately bring you into what I'll call like the hall part, but then other times there is some sort of like lobby or something there before you actually enter the hall. So I don't know. It's the fun of cartoon builds. So like I said, what I've decided is Reverend Lovejoy has an office here. So we'll stick some doors here, and this is like a little mini Sunday school. So that's what we've got going on here. And I'm actually going to seal this wall up, and we're never going to think about it again, and I'll explain why later. And just need to place a dark oak plank there. There we go. That's all nice and clean. We'll focus on all of these rooms a little bit later on, but now that we are back in here, we can also place doors too. But now that we're back in here, we can just rip up all of the floor, I suppose. And we can work on replacing it. So we'll start off by extending these 2 rows of red terracotta all the way forwards to join to what I will call the stage. I don't know whether it shows or not, guys, but I never really ever went to church, so I don't know what all the technical terms for all of these parts of the church are. Maybe you can help me out in the comments, but all the way up at the front here, we are going to have 3 rows of red terracotta, 1, 2, 3, and we will extend them across. We will then come all the way to the back here, where we will just place 1 row of terracotta, just extending across like this, and we will place a row of spruce shelves just along this back wall. We are then just going to extend the central row of red terracotta, the aisle as I'll call it, just left and right like this, and then we can fill these empty spaces in with light grey terracotta, and this is where the pews go? Pew. Yeah, I think that we've got that one right, the seats. Perfect. So what we will now do is starting here. So actually, no. Starting here, we will place a dark oak stair and extend right 1, 2, 3, just like this. We will then leave a gap of 1 and then do the same. We'll just keep repeating this. So we'll have sets of 4. We have 4 sets of 4 dark oak stairs in a row like this, which we will stick dark oak trapdoors flipped up on both sides. And I have noticed that with some of these, sometimes you get like little pockets on the backs of these benches that have like books or sheets in them, so we'll add some shelves and then we can add those later, or feel free to remove them, it's up to you. But we want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side as well, and we just want to have two matching sides like this. We can then stick dark oak trapdoors flipped up either side like so. And then, once again, I think it's a nice touch to have the shelves. Oh, it would make sense to have it on the back set because there's nobody to actually, like, grab them. So, unfortunately, these guys at the front have been shortchanged a little bit, but that's perfectly fine. And above the door here, the entrance, we do just want to slap a couple of mangrove signs like so. On the back wall as well, above the door, we want to leave a gap of 2 above these signs, so 1, 2, and then destroy 1, 2, 3, 4 rows extending up, destroy a row to the right, and then a block left and right of each of the 2 center blocks. So we're essentially making a circular shape, which we can then fill in with our colorful glass. So however you want to do this, you can see that I'm kind of just winging it right now, but it'll end up... No, that's not right. There we go. That'll look okay. That looks perfectly fine. Wonderful. Not only that, we are just going to inspect the roof. I think that the roof looks pretty good on the inside. I don't think that we have to add any blocks to it, but an area that we do have to add a little bit of shape to is this. So we actually want to take our birch planks here, and we want to try and match them to the area above a little bit. So as you can see, I've done a bad job there. So what I have to do is just add an extra row of birch planks, basically replace those. And then I think that we're going to add a birch slab here and here, and add a row of slab here. And this creates, can we feasibly, there we go, that looks good. So that looks pretty good, I think. Maybe we can even eke in like an extra... I think that looks a little bit better. So we're just going to shape that a little bit. And what I am considering is placing dark oak slabs behind this, just to match the shape of the birch slabs like so, because I think it will just look a little bit cleaner. Nice. Yeah, I think that just looks a little bit better. That's wonderful. So, not only that, we do want to place some lights as well. There's these really weird lights that it's kind of difficult to describe them. So, the lights are positioned. The middle one is right here. So, like, it's kind of like above this bench. The pew, if you will. So the end of this pew lining up with the middle of the window here, we want to have a chain on the ceiling, which we will drop down an additional row, stick a soul lantern underneath, which I'm just realizing is kind of fitting actually, and then we are just going to place cyan banners around the lantern like this, and this kind of emulates the weird hanging lights that are in the church. So there's one here, they line up with the edge of these seats, but they are actually placed where the middle of the windows are, so you just have to like cross-reference those two things, and it's 2 chains, 1 soul lantern, and then cyan banners all the way around. And not only do we want to do this on the left side, so once again, we're just lining up with each one of the 3 windows. We will want to do it on the opposite side too. So, here as well. Yeah, that's right, perfect. It's just a little bit tricky to get the foot... That's not even right. No, there we go, it goes with the center of the window. It's a little bit tricky to get the first one done, I think, but once you've done that... Fantastic, so those are the lights. And just before I forget, let's add some books and papers into some of these shelves. Feel free to mix up the way that you do it. I guess I'm not really doing that myself, but you yourself can. We'll make that one just completely different from the rest, and that is honestly kind of it for what I will call kind of just like the main area of the church. We are now going to turn our attention over to here. So as we walk in, we will have an anvil here, item frame here, gold ingot here, quartz pillar here, flowering azalea leaves here. On the left, as I said, this is Reverend Lovejoy's office. So in here, we are going to stack 2 chisel bookshelf in this corner and a bookshelf here in this position. We are then just going to clad the side of this and stack up 3 sets of spruce trapdoors, just flipped all the way up like this, with spruce trapdoors across the top and underneath the bookshelves. Then a flower pot here, fern here. Then we are going to place a terracotta here, oak leaf here, and then a painting here in this position. We will then place a 2x2 square of mangrove planks here, with mangrove stairs in front of this, just left to right. A set of stripped spruce wood in front of the chair that we have created like this. We will then place a flipped up spruce trapdoor here, with a painting in front of it. An item frame here, with a book and quill here. We can stick an item frame here as well with a book here, and you can even add some books to some of the chisel bookshelf if you like. Not only that, if you would like to actually add like a sign here, so Reverend Lovejoy, there we go. We can then add a warp stair here and apply warped signs to the sides of these stairs. And once you've done that, you've pretty much taken care of the office, or about as well as I could recreate using the sources. So next we are going to head across the hall here, where we will first of all add a giant painting to represent a whiteboard, or blackboard actually. So any one of the paintings that you might like. This looks semi-biblical, I think. I don't exactly know what's going on in the painting, but I think that it looks quite good. We'll stick a lectern here, book and quill here in the lectern. We will then have a spruce stair here with a spruce sign either side. We can then place a spruce stair in this position and stack a couple of bookshelves here, spruce stair here, and then we will have a couple of 1x1 paintings on the wall, so just here and here. I think that looks just fine. We want to have a piano on this side, so we have a set of 3 looms like this, white banner here, then spruce trapdoors flipped up all the way around the looms, except for this middle one, which we will have a spruce stair instead. And this is the entire room. Really, really simple. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, with that final detail added, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our church into our city. I hate to be the one to tell you guys this, but I know exactly where it's going. All the way over here in suburban storage, along with the Quickie Mart and so many other builds. Which is a shame, but 100% necessary for the upcoming renovation. You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order, and labelled. This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Mini City. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.